Welcome back to the KFiles. Today we are raising the dead from Scully's romantic past on Lazarus.
Very nice.
We're back in the lush basement office. I'm your host, Katie Moeller.
And I'm your host, Crysalia Lopez.
Nicely
Graduated from the last one. Sorry,
Yep.
I had to keep it, Katie.
No,
I'm saying.
please. This is my lovely host, Crysalia Lopez.
Finally graduated, guys.
Yeah, and it's fitting then that we're talking about a story that raises the dead, Lazarus.
That's right.
Yeah.
But before anything, I would like to say we are coming at you live from HollywoodRedux.com.
Very good.
So remember to subscribe below for more content, please.
Good. Well done.
Thanks.
Well delivered.
Thanks.
So Lazarus
Gold
is
stars all around.
just freaking UFOs are like blasting you with laser beams.
Just, damn it.
Imagine that. I don't think our graphics people will be able to handle that. You're imagining them.
Yeah, no, absolutely, because they would hate us completely for all of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So Lazarus is a story where we find an ex from Scully's past resurfaces. We recently watched an episode, Fire, that had an ex from Mulder's past. So this is the answer to that. In the first season, this is the... it's still first season, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Is Lazarus? Yeah, it is.
Let's just go with that. I'm pretty sure we're going to get corrected in the comments, but I'm pretty confident you're right.
No, it is. And the ex is a guy named Jack Willits, who is an instructor of Scully's at the FBI Academy. She has a history of dating men in positions of authority. We'll get into that.
Yeah, that's a whole other topic itself, man.
That's the tip of the iceberg for the Scully, that whole... We'll unpack some of that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then in the process, Mulder and Scully get embroiled in a XFile, truly it is, where Willis dies and his body is supplanted by the spirit of a former prison guard turned Bonnie and Clyde of Bonnie and Clyde pairing.
I think that is well said, my friend, honestly. Because, dude, this episode was... very interesting. Very, very tame compared to Fire, I think.
Yeah. Well, sure, I guess you weren't, trying to light up any human bodies at this point in this one.
No, but I'm talking more on exes.
Oh, sure.
In the relationship aspects. Because you did mention that in this one we bring up an ex.
Yeah, well, it's Willis, and Willis is gone. Willis has been supplanted by the spirit of this killer, and Scully doesn't believe it. Mulder tells her the truth, as always. Mulder in the early days, sometimes he maybe got confused, but really he only ever tells her the truth, and he does, and she doesn't believe him, but finally she sees, and they have to, unfortunately, say adieu to Jack. And Scully has to say goodbye to that part of herself that went on those weekend trips with him, and that had shared the birthday and all that stuff. But the monster is a strange one, because we have this prison guard and his prison love, Lula, who was really the source of all the pain in the episode.
She was evil all around.
She was hardcore.
She was... respects to her, man.
Yeah.
She gave no fucks all around.
No, she was out for number one. And her brother was played by a guest star. I don't know if you caught it. The actor is named Callum Keith Rennie. And he's an actor from Battlestar Galactica. He was a Cylon on Battlestar Galactica. And he's also in another X-Files episode later on in season 2. He plays a prison guard somewhere. But look out for him. He's around. But he's a terrific actor, and he's a small part. He gets murdered pretty handily, but he makes a mark. He's still a lot of fun to watch. I always like to see him. Well, I mean, really, the Willis inhabited by the prison guard, Dupre, is a stone cold killer.
That's true. These episodes, man, heavy.
Yeah.
Heavy stuff, dude.
Heavy is the truth. This is season 1. See, they were telling some really great stories in season 1.
They did not hold back at all.
No. Speaking of which, this was written by mainly Alex Gansa and Howard Gordon. Howard Gordon is a many, prolific TV writer. And he, Homeland is maybe his most, I think, successful of all the shows he's headlined himself.
No idea he was on Homeland.
Yeah, Alex Gansa is also a writer who's written TV for a long time.
That's so cool.
They among many cut their teeth on the X-Files, and this episode is one of their first, and I mean tremendous. And it's Chris Carter gets kind of a writing credit too. I think.
I feel like he would no matter what, right? Or
not later on, but in the first season he gets a lot of co-writing credits. I think he had the vision, and he had to share that with these few guys in the writing room. Especially Howard Gordon for sure, Alex Gansa, many other writers who we talk about all the time. And this monster is a love monster somehow, because Lula is the source of all the pain, and Lula offers Dupree a fantasy of love that he believes in so mightily he comes back from the dead.
That's how strong his love for her was, that like he couldn't let go. No, that's his sole reason why. Like,
I would argue that his belief in love was so strong it pulled him through, and that when he found out it was a lie, then he died. He promptly died. Yeah. So, but you see the dark love, you see bad love, but you see also that the flip side of that coin is the Mulder and Scully relationship, where they tell each other the truth. Lula lied. Yeah, she was a liar
in a big way.
Yeah, and it was such a bad lie that people died because of the lie, and other people died. She died. Her brother died. It was bad all around. Bad choices. But Mulder and Scully tell each other the truth, and they come through it.
Can I just say that, like speaking of this whole relationship, I feel that this episode was, I guess, more tamed compared to Fire. Yeah. And how just all around it was more, I guess, not tamed. It was definitely very emotional for Scully. Never mind. I'm just figuring things out about the episode.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a great monster, and you see the two characters are really working on trust with each other.
I like how this is considered a monster episode, though.
Yeah, there are a couple of monsters in it. There are a couple of different monsters. One monster is the monster of Scully not being able to see new information in light of a past relationship. Okay. Sometimes people have blind spots, and like Scully's blind spot is this. We haven't even talked about the relationship cycle Scully gets into. So Scully's blind spot is she signs up for fealty, essentially, to these men in positions of authority. Her father was the first. She was his Starbuck, and he was Ahab, and that was it. And then it plays out again and again in her life. Daniel Waterston, the guy she had the affair with in college, she dated this guy. He was her instructor at the academy. I mean, these are, you could argue, huh? So my, more conservative listeners might argue that these were, dangerous liaisons a little bit, but we just know Scully just is Scully and has to follow her path.
Hey man, she knows what she wants.
So Scully has this cycle playing out, and she worries that she's doing it with Mulder. That's what she's afraid of. She's afraid that she's putting her cause, her faith in an unworthy cause. That the shared journey is an unworthy place for her special powers, of which you see they are mighty. So that's a fear that plays out. So she's working through that a lot in the early days, and she has to work through herself, like, burn all the maps to all the pain in herself before she can start working on Mulder.
That's a whole nother situation in itself, man. That's like a whole nother case.
Yeah. So we'll see that play out again and again, and we'll definitely shine our flashlights upon it every time we see it on the KFiles, because Scully learns her lessons, and sort of, in chips and fits and starts, and like chipping away at it in the mind, kind of.
I'll agree to that.
Just like Mulder does. Just like everybody does.
Yeah. I'll agree to that.
So that's it for Lazarus. The specter of Scully's ex-past has gone on to a better place, and we'll move right along on the KFiles. We're charting the MSR, really, is what we're doing.
Only the beginning.
We're charting the characters. Yeah, only the beginning.
So much more to come.
Yep, lots of episodes to get through. So thank you very much for listening. I am your host, Katie Muller.
And I'm your co-host. I'm going to go back to co-host. I like that way better. No, you know what? Co-host sounds a lot more natural. I just like co-host a lot.
Follow
better.
your heart.
I didn't
Follow
like
your
host
heart.
that much anyways.
Well,
I'm your
feels.
co-host, Chrysalia.
And we'll be back with more KFiles very soon. We're coming to you from Hollywood Redux, where we have a lot of other great content, including a video game podcast called Infinite Grenade Launcher, a movie review podcast called The Writer's Room, and lots of shorts and sketches that we're going to be rolling out the rest of the summer.
So
stay tuned. Subscribe.
Please.
Subscribe. This little UFO is gonna just beam you up into the subscribe button, where you will click and like, and then the UFO will beam the like.
The effects department's gonna hate us so much right now.
This is what we have to do for the XFiles. They want theming. They
Sorry,
want
guys.
theming. I'm just giving the people what they want.
Oh man.
Okay, goodbye. Thank you for listening.